There are a lot of things you should and shouldn't do in Overwatch. You should play the objective. You shouldn't rush into a team fight by yourself. But today, we're going to look at things that relate to proper Overwatch etiquette. What are the rude things that players are doing that need to stop? But before we get started, I wanted to mention that we need your plays for an Overwatch play series that we're starting. So if you have any incredible highlights or hilarious moments you'd like to share and showcase, follow the link in the description below. Now that that's out of the way, it's time to look at 10 things players need to stop doing in Overwatch. Don't get salty over first round picks. Ever join a game and select a hero only to have some high and mighty douchebag tell you to switch? Now, I'm not talking about someone saying, "Healer, please," even though that's basically just as bad unless they are also a healer. I'm talking about someone saying, "No Bastion, please," or "Roadhog sucks now, switch." Even if that Bastion or Roadhog player should actually switch, that should not be the first thing you say to them. Build a rapport with them, start with small talk, and of course, if you want them to switch still, then ask nicely. But just remember, if you're asking someone to switch before the first round's even begun, you better be prepared to switch yourself. Don't shoot nice people in skirmish. If someone in skirmish greets you, don't respond by shooting them in the head. This person is trying to establish a social connection with you. Sure, it may be funny, bordering on hilarious to shoot them in the face after they say hello, but the reality is, it's just rude. Of course, on the other hand, if someone shoots at you or one of your teammates in skirmish, it is only proper etiquette to retaliate with full force. Don't leave before you vote. Not voting during the vote screen is rude. If you feel your teammates don't deserve a vote, vote for yourself, because obviously, the only way your teammates wouldn't deserve a vote is if you deserved it more, or if none of your team made it up there. It's also a nice gesture to give someone their 5th vote, even if you don't necessarily think they deserve it. Don't abstain just because you're feeling sore over a loss. Remember folks, democracy doesn't work unless you vote. Don't immediately re-queue. Now this one has the proper time and place. Sometimes you re-queue because you don't want to be stuck with a certain salty player again. Sometimes you don't want to play against the same 6 stack that just rolled you last match, and sometimes you just want to open loot boxes. But if that's not the case, don't immediately re-queue. You may be forcing everyone else into the queue by doing so, and you're reducing the number of votes a player could get in the vote screen by removing yourself as a vote. Plus, you get more experience by staying in queue. It's Blizzard's way of saying, we also don't want you to leave. No GG easy. What's worse than a sore loser is a gloating winner. Typing GG in chat at the end of the game is a nice, polite thing to do and is even recommended. Typing GG in the match chat before the game is over is less polite, either to the opposing team if you're winning or to your team if you're losing, but typing GG easy after you win, that's like rubbing salt in a wound. The opposing team just lost. They don't need you telling them how easy it was for you to beat them. Even if it is true, they probably already feel a bit crappy just from losing. Don't be a jerk by rubbing it in. Spamming healing requests. If you have no idea where your healer is, don't keep spamming "I need healing." Your team's healer might not be able to get to you, or they might be sticking with a tank to protect themselves while you're off dicking around the back lines as Genji. If you don't know where they are, they might not know where you are. And especially don't spam healing requests if your team's solo healer just died. That's a surefire way to never get healing for the rest of the match. Alternatively, healers, if someone is standing next to you asking for healing and you're too busy doing other things to heal them, looking at you, Zenyatta, if that player dies, that's on you, so just be prepared for the consequences. Insta-locking a teammate's hero. If you lose the first round, don't try and turn things around by insta-locking a hero that someone else was playing the previous round. That player clearly feels comfortable and confident with that hero, and maybe you do too, but so what? You can play that hero the next game, and if that's your main and you don't know how to play anyone else, well, it's a good time to learn. Unless you're in competitive, in which case you should beg as nicely as possible for that player to switch off. Oh, and especially don't insta-lock someone else's hero if you won the last round. That's just idiotic. Teabagging. Again, this is rubbing salt in the wound, and you just don't need to do it. Now this is one where, even though people should probably stop doing it, which is why I included it here, I kinda don't want this to stop, and my reasoning is this. If someone kills you and teabags you, there are a few things in Overwatch sweeter than getting revenge on that player later and teabagging them, or watching them get killed during your play of the game that won the match. But the only reason this revenge is sweet is because teabagging is kind of a dick move to do in the first place. Leaving a match, or AFKing. Don't leave a match because you're losing. That just shows that you don't know how to be a team player. You never see sports athletes storming off when their team's losing because A, they're, well, likely professionals that would be fired if they did that, but more importantly, there's always a chance to turn things around, and they know in order to do that, you need to keep playing. If you absolutely must leave because, I don't know, something's burning in the kitchen, or your dog started talking to you, or you smoked too much weed, just leave a polite sorry, gotta go message. Of course, if your kitchen's on fire, that's probably a higher priority. Blaming your team. Do you want to know how many good leaders blame their teammates when they fail? None. So stop blaming your teammates. Telling your teammates in team chat that they suck is rude. Telling everyone in match chat that your teammates suck, that's a whole nother level of rude. If you blame your teammates for crap, then you better be playing freaking perfectly. And I'm not talking about your opinion of perfect, I'm talking about everyone else's opinion of perfect. You better be getting every possible gold medal you can. You better get play of the game. You better be the only person moving the payload, the only person getting eliminations, the only person not dying. Seem impossible? Yeah, it's about as possible as not being an asshole when you badmouth your teammates. And that's the list. Are there more things that I missed? Things that you think would make Overwatch a nicer place if players just stopped doing them? Let us know them in the comments down below. And of course, send us your plays by clicking the link in the description so we can feature them in our upcoming play series. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm Moxness, and I'll see you next time.